I am Jensen Atwood, and you are watching In the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
One take. Thank you, Jensen.
Loved it.
Hi, I'm Rodney. You're watching The Basement. Stay tuned.
Okay.
The Basement.
All right.
JaVonne and Terez.
Thank you. Thank you, Rodney.
That one's gonna play.
I can hardly hear.
But we can hear you. We can hear you though. Jania.
Hey, what's up? This is Jania Frederica Ponte, and you're watching The Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Still in the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music politics are just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artists or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today or what we doing today or whatever it is, it's gonna be good. Woo!
How are you? How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's early here. I had woke up and I was like, what time is it? It was like 8:30. I was like, oh my God.
But you're beautiful. You wake up beautiful.
Okay.
How are you guys? How are you ladies doing?
We are doing well. We are doing well. How you hanging in there, Rodney?
You know what? They put us on lockdown again. Well, they're saying that now we're on like restrictions, but they're saying that we're gonna go on lockdown again if the beds become 85% at the hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're gonna shut us down again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the CNN said. So it's crazy.
Where are they now? I know you're on the West Coast. Where are they now?
Well, they're saying that we're on restrictions. But they will say they're going to shut us down again if it still keeps rising.
Okay.
Maybe by this weekend, they said.
Oh.
How have you been faring through all of this mess, man?
Baby, I tell you, it is crazy. But you know what? You have to look at the brighter side because great things are happening. I'm able to still kind of work and working on some exciting things. So I have to look at the good.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's, we asked that question. And I know we know each other personally, but we asked the question because we don't ask it rhetorically. We generally want to know. And this is not your typical radio show. This is, we get into some weeds and just really want to just, have a truthful conversation about, what's popping, what's going on in each other's life. We show clips of Noah's Ark, and folks know the amazing job that you did on a Noah's Ark and how we embrace it as ours,
Right.
It was
I wanted to say to you ladies, I've been following you guys because Terez, we're family. But I just think it's fantastic what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
I really, really applaud you both. It's great.
So much.
It's great. And it's very informative and it's fresh and it's new. It's great. It's great. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
I'm going to sample this and just play it all the time so that everybody knows that Rodney said. Okay. And people, let me just say that people are like, Rodney was my favorite. Rodney, hey girl, everybody. So I'm going to take that as, okay, if you say it, they'll believe it. So it's going to be all over the place.
Rodney's comedic timing is impeccable, and I just forgot how much I loved it, because he does other stand up too at times, right, Rodney? Is that
Yeah, I have. Well, I used to have I was the host of a comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sort of like Martin Lawrence did Def Jam. I would introduce, and in between, I would cut up. Do you hear me?
Yes.
See, I love that. You know me. I if it's not fun, I can't get with it. And you appear to me, because I don't know you personally, but you just have that energy of, look, let's have some fun,
Right.
And let's get the job done, but have fun also.
Well, baby, life is too short, I think. And my personality has always been my personality. And a little bit, I'm sure you guys can get into it, but like Patrick and I became friends after Punks. I don't know if you ever seen Punks.
I have.
You seen it, baby, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get you. I got to get you on it. But Punks was Patrick's first indie film, and I was in that. And Patrick and I became friends. And a couple of years later, he said, "Rodney, I gotta get you. I wrote a part for you for this new show I'm doing." And that's kind of how it all came about. He was just like, people have to see your personality on screen.
And
so
I'm grateful for it, because there's nothing like that scene that JaVonne just cut and condensed. That was that's classic. From you on that phone and in the chat room at the same time was hilarious to me.
I know, with the leg up, I'm so jealous.
But you know what, baby? On a serious tip, that was all ad lib. That none of that was in there, and I just did it. And Patrick them fell out, and we just kept it in. I just did it.
Wow. See,
but
the timing and just the natural. But that's when it's in you, it's in you. You can't write that kind of stuff.
Right.
That needs to be like. It served us well, trust me. And I'm, do you think that he will ever revamp something like that and come back again with it? I hope so.
That is the question of the century, I think, because after we did the Virtue, the reunion, it brought back, I think we had over 5 million views within that week. And that, I think we had like 2 million that night. And then, throughout the week, it was like, it got up. So I think it just depends on the powers that be. I honestly have no idea. I think everybody just kind of either are moving on or, because you can't just kind of sit and just kind of wait, anymore.
Right.
But we know that it definitely is a fan favorite, but it just depends on the powers that be, I'm assuming.
I believe that contracts can be written. I'm gonna put it out there in the universe, because we're an international show, and I'm gonna say this. I believe that contracts can be written in such a way that folks can do projects like Noah's Ark and any other project that comes their way, because they're also going to be uniquely different. And I'm just saying, I hope that Patrick revamps this show. It was ours, and we mentioned other shows that we watched, and no shade to none of them, no shade to the L Word remix or Queer as Folk. They just weren't ours, in a sense that we saw ourselves, the storylines, we saw relationships between friends. We can all relate, we didn't have to be women to relate to Noah's Ark, because, we saw ourselves in the connection between friends and how friends move with each other, protective friends, just all of that goodness was chopped up in that show. So, yeah.
Well, too, baby, I think that when you were part of the first, because it had never been done, I think we will always have that, where people, you know what I'm saying? And it's honestly, it's been an ongoing thing since the show stopped. Of fans wanting the show back, but
absolutely, it's
you just gotta just say, hey, we'll see. I don't know what they're doing, really.
It's necessary. It
is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing I would have loved to have seen, okay, you remember that beautiful, beautiful woman who was Noah's booking agent. What was she? A manager? What was
Oh,
she?
Noah's boss.
The beautiful black girl she was in the scene that I just played where Jensen was trying to
You
have,
talking about Jania? You talking about Jania?
yeah, oh my god. Now if they would have had some short dreadlock,
Oh God.
turn her out, honey.
Oh God.
But you know what? But you know, I think Jania is a fantastic actress. But I think that she was in the Skinny Patrick movie, and she played a lesbian.
Wait, is that the doorbell?
That's the doorbell. Who could that
That's the doorbell. Oh,
be? Wow.
Hi.
Hello.
You know what?
Jania.
I heard my name. My ears started ringing, and I said,
How
"Hey,
you
y'all."
doing,
How do you wake up?
love?
How do you wake up this beautiful mama?
I didn't. I got cute for y'all.
Oh,
Or
thank
I
you.
tried to.
Oh my
I
goodness.
know that's right.
You don't have to
Hey,
try.
Rodney.
Hi.
The beautiful Jania Fabrique Aponte, everyone. Welcome to the basement, Jania.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. I love the show. I love what you guys are, talk about, and I love what you're talking about right now. So, but thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. We're sitting here trying to give an international push to get this show back on the air. You know, it was so useful. We know you all have gone on to do some amazing things, but we want to bring Noah's Ark back, Noah's Ark 2.0 back, and shout out to the legendary Patrick Ian Polk, who's also doing his thing. But we were just sharing with Rodney, Noah's Ark is ours. It was before its time, and it's ours. And you all did an amazing body of work, and it just had so many elements that are true for our community, our culture.
Thank you. I was just talking about this last night. Noah's Ark was and remains, for me as an actor, the most important work I've ever done. And I know Rodney's DMs are packed to the rim, because I still, there's not a day that goes by that I don't have somebody that watches, loves, or just discovered Noah's Ark. And I've been an advocate long before the show, and it's just been really, you can look at it like a comedy, and while it was fun, yay, it was beautiful work, and so powerful. The guys on the show, I call myself the dog in the zoo. because
You always say that.
Everybody loves dogs, but that's not why you go to the zoo. You know what I'm saying? And so while I know I wasn't the box office draw, it was about the boys.
Well, let me tell you something. There were plenty of girls who watched that, and when you came on that screen, as my fabulous co-host said, she's like, there needed to be a little zhuzh around her part there, with the
yes. To make the, not for anything except to make your role and to make the show, more palatable. Like, because I think honestly, if you're hanging out, even if you're a straight woman, you're hanging out with a bunch of your gay friends, gay male friends,
you still might tiptoe through the tulips.
Just a little bit. You might get a little curious and say, and then some short person with dreadlocks is bound to knock on your door. That's all I'm saying, wanting to ring your bell.
Well, if you guys got to see the skinny, Patrick brought me back as a you know, I was tough. I was
Love it.
he asked me, he was like, "Do you want to play a lesbian?" I was like, "Yes, but can I be the manly one? Can I be the tough one?" He was like,
I have to see this now.
You
I have not seen it. My bad. I apologize. I have to check that out.
"You have it's really good, and if you're a fan of Patrick's work, you'll be so satisfied. It's really cute. It's like a younger Noah's Ark."
Okay, so let me ask you this. After I've watched it, after we've watched, I don't know whether or not, Terez, you've seen it. Have you seen it?
I have.
Okay.
Justin Smollett is in that too. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the odd man out, but once I've seen it, will you come back, even if just for 5 minutes, to talk about it?
Absolutely.
Cool, because I have to see it with you playing a Studley.
See, that's all it took. That's all it took. Pretty girl alert, and she's over. The subject matter that Noah's Ark tackles on a regular basis, you know, having the comedy in it, and the way Rodney kind of relayed some of his lines in there, it helped it. Like, it's almost like a spoonful of sugar, you know, because the ultimate conversation was being had, you know, and just really helped us in the community understand some things and how to have certain conversations, you know. Y'all dealt with some subject matter up in there, you know.
It was we did.
How did that feel, coming to work and having to give that, particularly when you talk about HIV and AIDS, and because it was some of the themes were based around a clinic, you know, and Ricky of all people was engaged in the clinic, you know, being one of the most sexually prowess on the show, Ricky being connected.
Well, you know, I think that's again the brilliance of Patrick, because originally I was going to be a dance teacher. Like, that was kind of talked about, because he was trying to figure out the characters and what we were going to be doing. And I was thinking to myself, child, I do not want to be dancing every episode trying to figure that out. So we kind of went back and forth. And then he thought about the Black AIDS Institute was a huge supporter of Noah's Ark in the beginning. So I think that's how he kind of came up with me being a counselor and then moving forward in that way, you know. So, which was a great thing, because it really brought a lot more to that character, I think, you know. I mean, to this day, people still call me to host, you know, HIV events and different things like that. So it's good.
Nice. Shout out to Phil Wilson. Yeah, doing some amazing work on the West Coast. Just engaged, has been for a long time. And those messages are central to our community. And it helped a lot of families have the conversations, you know, in the house. It really did. And the name of the production where Jania plays a stud, LaVonne, is The Skinny. We have a whole studio audience over here. They do comments. I don't know if you guys can see the comments, but they are going in on the left, so on the right of your screen, if you can see them under the comment section. But we answer them from time to time, so don't think we're schizophrenic. We're just seeing them pop up, so we give them shout outs because they're part of the show moving too.
Right.
So I wanted to just piggyback on what you were talking about. I think that one of the wonderful things about the show is that each character had these worthy types of occupations. You know what I'm saying? And when I say worthy, what I'm saying is worthy of us, worthy of being representative of who we really are. You know, I'm sure there are dance instructors, but, you know, especially during that time, a lot of us worked within the HIV, you know, help community. So I was that it just, the whole show, it just made sense. You know, it just made sense.
Yeah.
There was no gut bucket buffoonery either.
Right.
We were represented well, and each of you as actors portrayed your roles in such a dignified way that I thank you for that. I thank you for that. You know, it's what you brought to it that made it come to life.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Was
And
that conscious?
I know for me, you know, while it was, I was, you know, really salivating. I really wanted work that was meaningful. And, you know, just as a whole, I wanted to do stuff that meant something, that was rooted in purpose. And, you know, it was a bigger reason why I wanted to step behind the camera. But Rodney actually approached me about about this role, and he said, he was like, you know, my friend Patrick, you know, he's a really good writer. You know, he writes it's quality, it's quality. And was that your voice? I don't think it was. But he was like, it's a quality piece. He was like, you should, you know, and you should check it out. And I got Patrick my reel, and it was, Rodney was so passionate about what this piece was and how much potential it had. And it was, you know, it was really vision, because, you know, we were changing clothes for the pilot in the car, and, you know, stealing locations. It was very
Honey,
guerrilla style.
very low budget.
Very low budget. And, you know, I was actually working a lot at the time, but just fell in love with the project Noah's Ark. I read the script and I was like, whatever you want me to do, wherever you need, what you want me to stand right here? What do I need to do? So it was from the beginning, it was, and everybody felt the same way, right? Everybody was
Yeah.
so committed and so on board. It was really beautiful. When we got picked up for series, remember those sets, how gorgeous they were? Like,
Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing. But, you know, to piggyback off Jania, you know, I always knew her to be, you know, a fantastic actress. And Patrick just said, hey, I got to find somebody to play Noah's boss. And I said, you know what? I have the perfect girl who you need to meet. And I just knew that Jania would bring, because Jania was very, you know, gay friendly. You know, she's really cool, but a great actress. And I thought that she would pull it off. Anyway, Patrick did get her reel and loved it, of course. And that was a big thing. But like Jania was saying also, it was really it was really done. It was the love of the project, because we didn't know how big it was going to get. We really didn't. We were just doing it. It was like Jania said, we got dressed in my truck and did hair and makeup in my truck. And I cut I had to have my arrow. By the way, Patrick, girl, where's my gas money? Anyway. but we was in my truck like the whole day on every break. Anytime somebody had a break, they would go in my truck for AC. So it was really for the love of the project. And you know, we all had a investment in it, that we wanted it to be great. So
Jania, how much of that influenced your project after that, 90 Days, where you co-directed, and that was an HIV/AIDS piece? Because I saw that too, you know, and thought it was an amazing piece of work that you co-directed with Nathan, who we had on the show, Nathan Hale Williams. Shout out to him. But I loved the project.
Thank you. It influenced the 90 Days a great deal. Before, unfortunately, before the skinny, I mean not the skinny, sorry. Before Noah's Ark, I had a lot of, you know, I've always had a lot of gay friends. And sadly, I lost, you know, being in the art world, you know, I lost a lot of people. One, that's what made me really want to do Noah's Ark, because I knew some little boy in Mississippi. I'm from Gary, Indiana, which is a small town where, you know, there were two boys that were comfortable being gay, and it was a problem, you know. I knew how important it was for them to see themselves represented. You know, it meant a lot to me. And then with 90 Days, knowing and meeting so many women that were HIV positive and were trying to figure out how to navigate in the world, with, you know, knowing now you can live with HIV, right? Like first it would take you out, and now we have ways to live. The question the girls I knew were asking was how do I love with it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do I disclose? How do I, you know, so that was really, it was that project was life-changing and still continues on. The way we're talking about Noah's Ark, I was pregnant on the second season, and now my son is 14. Can you believe
Wow.
that? He turns 14 today.
Oh, wow.
I can't even believe it.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
And happy
Oh my
anniversary.
God, Janice.
And I was, for all of the second season, I was pregnant.
Wow.
So, you know, but we're still talking about it 14 years later. I love that.
Well, let me just say that, you know, the show was remarkable. It was a remarkable story of friendship, Black brilliance. It was a love story, multiple love stories, and the whole cast and crew were fine. The men, the women, y'all didn't let ugly people on the set. So I just want to, before I bring on our next guest, I just want to show this snippet, and then we will come back to it, because y'all fine. I just can't. Woo.
Is that Trey? Damn, he fine. I know his big corn fat ass be manhandling you.
And it makes me feel like a real wall. A W-O-M-A-N.
I just had to do that.
We had so much fun, y'all.
Oh, but you know what? But the thing about that, me and Janelle we laugh about it because when we shot that, oh, that's the doorbell.
That's the doorbell.
Oh,
there. Speaking of handsome and beautiful.
Whoa. Jensen Atwood, everyone, Jensen Atwood. Rodney, we're going to let you finish that thought before we introduce Jensen. Hi, Jensen.
Oh. Hi, Jensen.
What up, Rodney?
Oh, no, I was going to say that it was sort of like one of those things. They told me and Jania and I, you guys got 5 minutes to do. We had to do all those scenes in like 5 minutes. And Jania and I looked at each other like, let's get it. And we just sort of just rolled with it, and they just kept filming. And it was hysterical, but it was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right, Janelle? It was like the end of the night. And they said, if you don't get it in, we're going to have to cut it. So that was, it was cute. We kept doing scene after scene. We had to do them all in that one take.
Wow. You two have amazing chemistry together too. You could tell that you're good Judies, though. You could tell.
Chemistry, man. I really kind of cut it out because it was just, I didn't want to play too much of the hot scenes. But the scene that I opened with, there in that segment where Mr. Jensen was trying to get Patrick to get involved with a threesome, and it was that was hot, man. I was like, who gonna get it? Somebody getting it. I don't know who's getting it, but somebody's getting it. And welcome to the show, Mr. Jensen.
Now, Jensen, I just want to say to you that you did an amazing job on the show. And I, for personal reasons, your character made so much sense to me because, at the time when Noah's Ark was popular, I knew a lot of guys that were in your character, and I saw them, and I knew them, and I was like, come on, come on, man, like what? Come on now, but you played that. Tell me what that was like on the set, playing the alleged straight guy, but what was that like for you?
It was terrifying. No, as an actor, it was everything that I could have ever asked for, especially stepping into the business. I wanted something that was going to challenge me. I wanted something that would take me as far away from who I am as possible, so I could show everybody what I could do. So
Right.
I could tell the business I was here and I'm ready to take on, whatever they have in store. So I was excited that I got the role when I auditioned for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pretty beautiful man, I'll say, and was definitely a fan favorite in terms of just how that whole dynamic between you and Noah took place. I thought that was a great plot twist, if you will, for what generally is the other way around. Sometimes you have, but I can't say generally. Let me back up for a second. I'll say that is something that is not necessarily always shown. The idea that you have alleged straight men that actually, and I say alleged because, if you're obviously attracted to guys, it's not, you're not clearly.
Right. Clearly you're not straight.
Yeah, but it really is how you define yourself. Not necessarily, because just because you have, and I'm gonna say this, I know this is a controversial statement before I even say it. You define yourself. Having sex with a man or a woman does not make you anything. It's how you describe yourself. But that dynamic was something that was not seen prior to Noah's Ark. Was not seen. What was a typical day like for you getting ready for the role? If you can remember.
Well, I mean, it was extremely challenging. Before Noah's Ark, even reading the script, when it said that I was going to kiss another man, it was terrifying. I didn't, and it made me question myself, because those are thoughts that I never had before. And so I was kind of forced to be like, whoa, what if you like it?
Okay.
Like, wait a minute. What if you're gay? Because those are questions I never asked myself, because I'm straight, because those thoughts never even entered my head. So it was never even a part of my psyche. And so it then was, how am I going to pull off love? How am I going to show gay love? How am I going to be believable being gay when I can't even, bring it up in my psyche? And so it was a full circle that I had to kind of come around to, because what I do know love.
Mm-hmm.
I know love probably more than I want to know love. Heartbreak and the whole nine.
Yeah.
I love deep and I love hard. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And so it was like, well, what's the difference?
Facts. I was going to ask you, what is gay love? But yeah, facts.
But again, I know it sounds dumb now that I'm saying it 15 years later, but at the time, it was like, whoa, like, how am I going to do this? So I stuck with what I knew, which was love. Right. And it was clear there was no difference.
Facts.
So that was my, preparation, if anything.
Facts. Thank you for that. Yeah, like 15 years ago. It's hard to imagine it's been 15 years since Noah's Ark, and I know you've done some amazing things since then. Rodney, I also know that you've done some amazing things since then. What's in it for your directorships? Because I know all three of you, have to be up to some. How's this time in COVID been for you all? Let me just ask you. I asked Rodney the question already, but Jania and Jensen, how have you been in this climate called COVID? How have you been maintaining yourselves emotionally, your families? I know, Jania, you're married to an amazing, beautiful man, Saul Aponte. So, I just want to give him a shout out too. How have you been faring, both of you, in this climate?
Well, for me, it's hard to say this because I know it's been difficult for a lot of people, but it's been pretty wonderful, honestly. When we got the stay inside orders in California, we got them in March. I took it literally. Go inside. I literally did a deep dive spiritually. I turned off social media. I turned off the news. I spent a lot of time going within, because I felt like something bigger was happening. It was deeper than this intense flu, in my opinion. I felt like something spiritual in the universe was happening, because at first, like, I don't know if y'all remember, but like, I couldn't really sleep. Like, it was a lot of energy. It was really weird. And we're experiencing something we never have experienced before.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I just wanted to turn up creatively. I wanted to turn up with my mental and emotional and physical health. You know, I really wish that people would talk more about the importance of taking vitamins and eating right now. Getting vitamin D. You know, I was spending a lot of time and getting some sunshine. But honestly, creatively, you know, I think we can all agree as actors and creators, most of our pre-production is done in the house anyway. So a lot of, you know, so I've been able to do a lot of writing and just a lot of work, and I'm still very, very busy in terms of our art, but it's been really beautiful and spiritual for me. What about you, Jensen? You haven't been going to the gym, I see. Just kidding.
It's been weird, but I mean, it's been weird because I think there's a line in Noah's Ark, the movie, in my wedding vows, where it says something along the lines of the world bending to us, and I feel like, you know, I've been living a quarantine life for a long time because it didn't really change that much. I spent a lot of time in the house. I spent a lot of time, you know, self-searching. I was able to pick up a couple more skills, editing. I got some new computer and some software. The business, the entertainment business was already kind of going towards more self tapes than actually showing up to an audition room. So a lot more auditions start coming in.
Yeah.
I did 3 Lifetime movies during the quarantine. So I kind of felt like the world started kind of bending to Jensen.
Yeah. And you've also done a lot of high profile videos too, from major music artists as well. Seeing your face floating around for sure.
I was a video vixen in the late 90s.
Absolutely. And let me just say, not to stay back there, but for a straight man to pull off what you pulled off, that's just brotherly love. You know, that is really being secure in who you are, and you pulled that thing off. You know what I'm saying? You're a beautiful, beautiful man, and you just portrayed someone who, although that character was conflicted at one point throughout the series, you as an actor, as in your own self, you know, just doing that, I thank you for that.
Thank you. That means the world.
Yeah, nobody else could have done that role the way you did that role. That was for you. Just like for Rodney, same thing. I can't see anybody else playing your role.
Right.
And Jania, you fit in perfectly as well. Like it was just perfectly cast, and I can't stress enough that you all did such a great job. I'm just curious, are you all still in touch after all of these years, or is it only in random moments like this where you get to see one another again?
Well, yeah, we see each other periodically. Rodney actually had a big role in the film 90 Days I co-directed with Nathan. And yeah, we've been able to keep in touch, and social media kind of helps. And when the world was open, I saw Jensen at a few cute parties and things because we have mutual friends. There were several maskless moments. Remember those?
Remember those?
Yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah, same. Well, a lot of the cast members were friends of mine before Noah's Ark. I mean, Noah's Ark wasn't the beginning of me in the entertainment business, and so Rodney was one of my first dance agents. Actually, one of my first agents. Period. When I started in the business, so I knew Rodney before that. Daryl also. We had actually done a couple of gigs together before even walking on set for Noah's Ark. So a lot of the people were already friends, and Patrick is like my road dog. I mean, he busy as hell. He mainstream now, so real busy. But that's my road dog. So I'm happy to keep in touch with a lot of the people from Noah's Ark because they were my friends before it.
And I think also social media wasn't as big back then when we were doing it. So now it's kind of easier to, keep in contact with people,
Right.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry, that potential threesome was with the two of you and Daryl, not Patrick. I'm sorry. I get my threesomes confused.
And that was a scene right
so
there.
Many.
That
There you go back to that.
That was a scene. Yes, back to that. Sorry.
It's too early on their end.
10 years later, yes.
I still get people write to me on a daily basis. I'm telling, like I was saying before you got on, Jensen, that I know Rodney's DMs are filled to the rim because I'm like, people are still reaching out to me. Like,
yep.
And you a dog in the zoo.
Dog in the zoo. Like, ain't nobody thinking about no little dog. Like, here she comes. Oh, hey girl. Anyway, but no, that scene, we had a lot of fun.
You did. I mean, I did. I mean, Jania's a genius. I mean, there's just small things that make the scenes what they are. That maybe the audience doesn't grasp, even though it is what's making them be affected. And something so simple as when she sat down, there was a direction that she spun.
It was hysterical.
That it had to be kept. Like and I think on another take she went the other way, and Patrick was like, "Whoa, nuh-uh, do it like you did it the first time." So it was just small moments that make the scenes as big as they are. And Jania, that scene wouldn't have been nothing without her.
I have a question. Jania, what was it like kissing Daryl and Jensen?
Yeah, Jania, spill the tea. Here's Mr. Ponte now. What's up?
Okay, so you know how actors always be like, oh, it's so technical because there were lights everywhere, and that's what they always say. I've been seeing them say it for years. Oh, it was just a job, and it's so uncomfortable because you like action and cut. No. That shit was the bomb.
You had a good time.
I had hot peaches, okay? When they said we gotta do another take, I was like, no problem. But again, it was professional hard work. There's so many people involved to get these things going, and you're reading your script, you're rehearsing, and you have to. It's professional work.
You're hilarious.
In the same way, I'm sure it was for you and Trey.
Let me tell you something.
Fed. I wanted to ask you guys.
Do your thing.
Rodney a question.
You sure can.
I know how professional you are, and I remember watching you rehearse your lines in the wings. And my God, I don't think he ever blew a take. Let me just say that. But aside from that, sir, I know you had to do some scenes with his character's name was Trey, right? was, I felt like he worked out too much for my taste.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you had to act, I know you were really what was that like for you?
Okay. It was really difficult. Okay.
Because all these people are standing around.
It was a whole bunch. It was a whole bunch going on. Okay. but I will say, Greg was, again, being a straight guy. He was. I think, in all honesty, when we first started this whole thing, Greg was like, we would talk about everything all the time. But anyway, I said, Greg said, Rodney, you know what? Everything is good, but please, no tongue, right? I said, okay. It slipped a few times.
Because you were so into character.
I was in the character, you know what I mean? And but I think the chemistry of Greg and I, on a serious tip, it was more about we respected each other. Greg respected me, I respected him. He understood what the show was about.
This is what they always do in the interviews, y'all. This is what they always do. Continue, sir.
Okay, so let me. But I did have to have. Listen, okay, listen. I'm not gonna sit here and say I never did not think he was fine. Hell yeah, he was fine. Big old fine ass, yellow, corn fed. Yeah. But I also knew that in order for it to make it look real, that I had to have some kind of respect for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was
but
good.
I really did. And he was very, I think he was comfortable with me because he knew that I would never cross the line. Now, when I went home, I had a few problems, but other than that, it was all good.
Wow.
She just tagged you back in a way that was so fierce.
Josh, she took me back. She took me back, honey. Corn-fed tea, Jania.
He was something else.
We want to play a game with all three, y'all, that is infamous for this show. And just so you know, this is an international radio show, right? Internet radio show. And we play this game called Rapid Fire, right? And it's a word association game. And how it works is that I'll say word and you say what immediately comes after. Now, you don't think about it. It's just what comes up for you, right? So I'm going to say some words and then JaVonne is going to say some words. And because we have three of you, this is unique. This is our first time doing it with three people. So I'm going to say a word and then Rodney's going to say a word. Jensen, you're going to say a word. And Jania, then you're going to say what immediately comes to mind. Okay?
Okay.
I look at Jensen like, yeah. That's generally the response we get from everybody, but we keep it clean. And we just
not necessarily on purpose.
It gives folks a peek behind the veil, and to just know what you connect what thoughts with. So let me know when you're ready. Okay. Black people.
Powerful. Sorry.
Okay. There we go. That's one.
Y'all supposed to say the word. Y'all supposed to think like
Rodney
that.
goes first.
I know, but you was taking too long.
I thought I went first.
I know, but you was taking too long. You supposed to give it to him.
Oh,
that's
the first word that comes to mind.
Yes.
Okay. A lot.
A lot. Okay.
Jania?
Beautiful.
Love.
Happiness.
Honesty.
Deep.
Community.
Family.
Evolving.
Togetherness.
Ooh. Grace.
God.
Favor.
Togetherness. Togetherness. Okay.
The industry.
Crazy.
Hard.
Changing.
sex?
Ooh.
Always.
The most fun you can have with your body.
You're up next, JaVonne.
You didn't, Jensen, you didn't answer.
Jensen, you didn't say nothing.
I said ooh, that's a reaction. That's something, right?
I call ooh a word. I use it all.
OH.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Personality.
Outgoing.
Together.
Individual.
Vibe.
Cool.
Happy.
Introspective.
Spirituality.
Essential.
Love.
Yes.
Breathing.
Homosexuality.
Gay.
Natural.
A lot. Let's just say a lot.
Shaka Khan.
What?
Let me
Shaka
rock you.
Khan. What'd you say?
Let me rock you.
Okay.
Timeless.
I didn't hear what you said.
Shaka Khan.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Ooh.
You all did a great job. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Before we let you beautiful, beautiful people go, can you tell everybody how that they can follow you, what projects you have, if you have anything that you want to share, where they can go find them? You know, just take a minute and revel all the beauty that is you. And Rodney, we're going to start with you first. We're going to hit Jensen, and then let's go, Jania, bring up that anchor, baby.
Okay. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Rodney, ITS Rodney _, and Facebook is Rodney Chester. I just did I did a short film that's out on DVD now, called As I Am, but I just did a guest star on a streaming network called Pieces. And next year, March, they're gonna do my own show. I'm gonna have my own show. So I'm excited about.
That's
I'm
what's
excited about that. And
Yeah,
it's
we're all
supposedly-
excited.
we start shooting it in March.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Rodney. Congratulations, baby.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Jensen, what did you
All right, I'm gonna try to get all this out. So my Instagram is actor Jensen Atwood. My YouTube is the Jensen Atwood. I also have an app, Jensen Atwood app. It's free, available on all platforms. This month you can watch me in my 4th Lifetime movie called Christmas Together.
Yeah.
You can also, for those who haven't seen me, in my first lead role in a feature film called Before I Do, available on Amazon Prime and also on YouTube. I'm also looking forward to working with the director Kim Connor on her next project called Lipstick, of amazing Black female director. I'm also in pre-production in I'm the lead in a martial arts film called Rise of the Tarragon. We'll be shooting at the top of the year. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. There you go. And for folks that are blowing up my phone right now, go follow Jensen Atwood, the actor Jensen Atwood. There we go. And Jania, last but certainly not least, the beautiful.
So you can follow me I'm on Instagram. That's really the only thing I'm on Instagram. Jania Frederica Ponte, or just Jania Frederica, I believe. I just finished a 4-part docuseries for Diddy's network, Revolt, that really features, it's beautiful. It features Black excellence. I wrote and directed the series 4-part. I have a film. I'm so excited. I'm going to be directing, and I helped develop the story. It stars Kiki Lane, Mo McCrae, Common, Annabelle Wallace. We shoot that in Montana next year. I'm so excited. And my husband and I, we have a development deal with OWN, and yeah,
Wow.
a lot of really, really good things. So excited.
Absolutely. Shout out again to Saul Aponte. And together, you two are just a creamy, beautiful looking specimen of a couple.
Thank you.
All three of you. Shout out to your family, Jania. Beautiful, beautiful family.
Thank
It seems as
you.
though there are so many wonderful things coming in the near future for the three of you. Well deserved. You're beautiful Black brilliance, just examples of Black power. And we're so grateful that you came through. One last ask.
Why you don't turn off that phone?
Somebody.
Not me.
Right.
Popular Rodney.
For some reason I can't hardly hear.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
So one last ask, and we're gonna ask for a drop for the show. And you can do it one at a time, and I'll take care of the editing of having it for each of you. But you're gonna do, hi, this is whoever you are, and you're watching, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Let's keep it simple. Okay.
Cool.
So who wants to go first?
I'll get it. Ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
I am Jensen Atwood, and you are watching In the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
One take. Thank you, Jensen.
Loved it.
Hi, I'm Rodney. You're watching The Basement. Stay tuned.
Okay.
The Basement.
All right.
JaVonne and Terez.
Thank you. Thank you, Rodney.
That one's gonna play.
I can hardly hear.
But we can hear you. We can hear you though. Jania.
Hey, what's up? This is Jania Frederica Ponte, and you're watching The Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. And whatever you do for the rest of the day, please enjoy. Thank you so much to all three of you.
Thank you for having me.
Watch their film. Support Black brilliance, everybody, please.
Yes.
And JaVonne, hit me after you see the skinny now.
Oh, I'm gonna hit you up as soon as I see it. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Hi, this is Mason. You're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Perfect.
Hey, this is Leon. That's right, Leon, for some of your favorite movies, and I'm at brunch in the basement with Terez and JaVonne. Stay here with me. Stay here with me. Stay here with me.
Still in the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music, politics, or just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see, that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today. Come on, everybody's a friend in my head. I already know everybody. Whatever it is, it's gonna be good. One day I'll tell you about me and Shaka Khan, but
Oh my gosh.
yeah. But she doesn't know anything about it. But anyway. No, she doesn't. She wasn't even there actually. But anyway.
Bosses though, Jay. She's got our ears and
I'm gonna send y'all some perfume. I'll definitely get an address. I'll send y'all out.
You can send me some cologne, because I mean, yeah. Just in case I should meet Shaka Khan, I want to smell really, nice.
Oh God.
Okie dokie, babe. Whatever you say.
the time. So,
and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. This part, that little piece, I'm just going to keep and play it all the time for myself. But no, I'm just teasing.